Soak up the rags, fuck up the mask, light up the night and I never look back. I am the hunter, you are the monster, I am the entity, I am the haunter. Fight with no water, fight with no water, bring me the leg, I won't choke on the water. I am the author, you are the paper, if you will probably the blood on the razor. Motherfucker, I am the product and never feeling my feelings. I run upon them in the middle of the night and I kill them. I drill a hole in the villain, the fit of whatever mistake. Tell me shit, I don't listen, I'm burning up with the witches. Always been the same and I'll never change. Drifting the waves and I'm swept away. Catch me with the flames, I'm a decimate. And if I rest today, I'll just accept my fate. How I feel, am I really here? Dwelling every fear, there's no real, let me hear me out. Show me who I was, patiently, faithfully chasing the sun. Drag me down, deep into the ground. Seep into the weakness, gotta get the secret out. I am alone, inside my head. I can be killed if I'm already dead. Heartless entity, double identity. Look at me, see what you did to me. Look at you, this is the end of you. Thought I was done, but bitch, this is the interlude. I will be cautious, watch where you step. I am your conscience, I am your breath. I am the sovereign, never to rest. I will break down your will until nothing is left.
I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king.
Soak up the rag.
Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keane. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out. www.spreaker.com/show/Best Damn Podcast. Check out the Best Damn Podcast.tv. Follow me. Instagram, Best Damn Podcast. Twitter, The Real Best Damn. And wherever you're watching, make sure to subscribe, follow, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button, that thumbs up. And the number one way to support is share. So share these links, get them out there, that way new people can find us, and consider donating, supporting today. PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger. And you will have access to tomorrow night's Best Damn Fam Live. That's our private and uncensored content where we get into the things we can no longer talk about here, which is basically everything, right? We're not allowed to talk about anything now. But it's awesome. And if you haven't gotten your link and you have donated and supported, and it looks like we're in a new month now here in June, but if you did last month too, text 513-393-2396 or email therealbestdampodcast@gmail.com, and all of the links are in the description. Let's see who we got in the chat room. Looks like we got Kathy Montgomery, 757 Green General, Charlie Jones over on Facebook Live. And there he is. There's the admin extraordinaire, Justin, Know Thyself. And I'm going to start including Justin's YouTube channel link in the description. I don't have it right now, but I'm going to start putting it in there. That way you guys can go sub him up too. We have the True Spreado 101, Shelly Scott, Brian Harris, Eyes to See 711, Jules 44, Laura White Knight over on Facebook Live. Hey Laura. Biblical Smackdown, the coolest name ever. My brother John Keane, yes, that's my name. Thank you. Over on D Live and DF. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody. You know what? It was kind of weird as I was coming into this one. Usually I can, see a bunch of people kind of like waiting for the show to start, making comments and stuff like that. But it was dead. It was dead. When I was looking at like the chat box and all of this, like I couldn't see one single soul that had, said anything. So maybe just people aren't talkative, or maybe they're hiding us. I can't figure out which one it is, but I got an idea. Tonight, you're smoking boodle hash, buddy hash, bud and hash. I don't know. Just want to say hi. Well, that's what's up. John J. Verdayan over on Facebook Live. Rachel Kneebone. Yes, Justin has the best channel. Yes, he does. Justin's probably got it's the Hitchhiker's Guide to Spiritual Awakening. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you everybody for joining me. I've got a pretty good one tonight. I've got a lot of cool stuff to show and talk about. Very obviously, last night did the show, well, kinda, did the show with Andrew from the Boogeyman channel. And I don't know what happened to the video over on his side. I think it's, it said it was deleted by the uploader. I don't know if they done the same crap they've been doing to me with this channel, or he just took it down. I haven't talked to him, but we're going to be having something coming real soon, him joining us on this channel, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's got this whole new method with the satellites and how he's looking into the Sky Dome and all of that. And if you missed last night's show, that was a real good one for beginners. Basically, like I went in and basically tried to put together, a good presentation of the overall scheme of things, right? Because we live in a controlled environment. It seems like things happen sporadically, or, there's chance and all of this into the way that things play out. But I promise you that doesn't appear to be the case. I mean, not even a little bit. Matter of fact, down to what the world and the governments of the world, what they do, the moves they choose to make, the wars that they fight, or say they're fighting as they depopulate the planet, down to the religious leaders and the religions, and what's trending, what's not trending. All of these different things is not, or what I believe to be, free will. It seems like everything is scripted. And that's what is at the base of the word scripture, the word script, right? And there's nothing new under the sun, which means that this script is running out over and over and over and over again. Last night, I showed the biblical timeline of destruction, right? And we get our ass waxed about every 300-400 years. Sometimes it'll take 600. Sometimes it's just 50 years later. But for the most part, it's about every 300 to 400 years. Think about all the different ages, all the different gods, right? And now think about what the stars were aligned like whenever that age took place. At the end of each age, it seems like this reset will happen, where they do this massive culling of the population, this massive harvest, if you will. And I do believe that this is, you could call them extraterrestrials, but I believe they're just interdimensional entities that we would probably know as the fallen. Right? And they're the ones kind of orchestrating everything and pulling the strings, and they're the ones behind the whole system of government and religion and all of that. And it's just sellouts basically that get to be the face of that. Think about every politician, every famous pastor, preacher, televangelist. Tell me it's not plausible that they would sell out to some demonic entity. They would. They absolutely would. They sell out even if they don't have pressure on them. So imagine if they were getting pressure put on them by some outside force to help them manipulate the masses. And it seems like most people today, at least, are under this big spell. It's a spell. This strong delusion. Remember in the Bible it says, they hate the truth, so I'll send them a strong delusion, causing them to believe the lie. Well, if you think about it, if you're sent a strong delusion and it's causing you to believe something that isn't true, well, you've been put under a spell, right? You've been cursed. You've been hexed. You've been had. That's witchcraft. That's magic. That's what that is. Whether you choose to believe it or see it that way is up to you. I don't mean to be offensive whenever I'm talking about God or religions, but there's no other way that I can put a lot of these things, right? I can only come out and say it straightforward in the way that I see it and what I know to be my truth. You yourself need to always make sure that even when it comes to me and what I'm saying and what I'm trying to show here, that you use your own spiritual discernment, right? Your own critical thinking. And that's not a common thing these days, especially the critical thinking, right? we're taught from a very, very young age, whenever we enter into schooling, which is this massive system of indoctrination, right? That where we're told what their version of history is, and by their, I mean the powers that be. It's not the real version of history, right? But history, or his story, we're taught the version they want us to know. They want us to believe, and it will change. Has changed. My children, compared to when I went to school, different version of history, right? They're all now into the version that, they've altered to be more politically correct, right? That's what they've done. As they push forward, closer to this end point, closer to the nexus, the grip around the proverbial neck or throat of the masses gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And you think that there's some big virtue signaling, we got to be proper and we can't say things that might offend people. We have to be sensitive to people's feelings. If you honestly think that that's what hate speech is about, you're a fucking idiot. Just saying. It's absolutely being used to censor and tighten the noose on all of us so we can't say things that aren't sanctioned to be said. The mainstream media pushes out and pumps out, and whether you choose to accept it or not, in 2012 the Smith-Mundt Act was repealed, which made propaganda legal, and not just any propaganda, okay? State run in the same fashion that the United States would run propaganda on a foreign enemy was made legal to run on you. Now think about that. Think about that. Why would they want to treat you like a foreign enemy? Who really was the invisible enemy when all this bullshit started? And why? Why does it seem like each and every day, the closer, we get to this end game and everything just being revealed, shit gets weirder and weirder, and it seems more and more like regular Joe Blow has a big target on your back. And it's not because you're an extremist or a terrorist or any of those things. It's because you disagree with the narrative. It's because you refuse to pretend and go along like everyone else. It's because you see things that all the other people are ignoring. Right? These are the reasons that you're hated. Not very good ones, but these are those. That's why it happens. You seen a real veil being lifted and unzipped? Well, truth be told, the veil is being lifted, and we are seeing things that we've never seen before. We are witnessing things that we never probably even thought possible. I'm telling you what, this reality we live in today, and you can say what you want, you can call me crazy, I don't give a fuck, honestly, is nothing like what I knew just like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like we are living in an entirely different dimension than before the great sign in heaven took place. The Great Sign in Heaven, September 23rd, 2017. I don't know what the fuck happened, but all of a sudden, things got weird. We started shifting in different directions, and you started seeing the separation of the wheat from the chaff, right? The sheep from the goats. It became more and more obvious who was who, and who was doing what, and what people's real intentions are. And we're to the point now to where, in my opinion, you're either so deceived, and I mean so deceived, that you can't tell your ass from a hole in the ground. You believe everything you're spoon-fed by your masters, your handlers, right? And you will deny your very own eyes. You will deny your heart. You will deny everything, because you have cognitive dissonance, Stockholm syndrome, and you are just completely submissive to this system, to the point to where they decide what you believe, what you think, what you know, even when it contradicts the real truth within you. And then you have the other side of people, the ones who can't be deceived. If it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. Now I'm starting to see what that may mean, right? The ones that no matter what bullshit they pull, they find a way, right? They find a way to expose it. They say, oh, there was an explosion in Nigeria. All of a sudden, some cat on TikTok's got a video showing a fireball fucking hitting the ground, and you know it was an asteroid. Things like that. Oh, we're in this whole pandemic, and we need to do this and this. And then you got people that are starting to ask questions and saying, well, hey, why isn't this isolated? Hey, why do you need this? Hey, is this untested? Hey, is this experimental? And and this is what I mean. The wheat from the tares, the sheep from the goat. And those that are under the strong delusion, I don't know if they can snap out of it. I don't know if they will snap out of it. I just don't. I don't think so at this point, honestly. Think about all of the shit that is just absolutely obvious that it's lies, right? These different events that are launched on the masses to basically accomplish different agendas to take your protection, your firearms, to shut your mouth up and take free speech, to keep you from gathering, right, and assembling and protesting, to keep you from doing anything that was supposed to be constitutional rights. To the point now, anybody that disagrees, they have created these different what would we call them? Basically task force units that are being dispatched to watch individuals for extremist activity. If you're in the military and you disagree, guess what? You're an extremist and they're going to get you out of there. If you're in the government and you disagree, guess what? You're a terrorist and you gotta go. And same thing for you and I and all of the everyday people, right? We're all, and we used to joke about this. Oh, you're going to be on a list somewhere. Isn't fucking funny now, is it? Not at all, is it? Doesn't seem, really far-fetched or crazy now, does it? But nonetheless, things continue to push forward. And here we are. We're in this back half, in my opinion, the final 42 months of this tribulation period. Do I know how all of this is going to end? No. Do I know what it's going to look like and the way that all of this plays out? No, I don't. But I do know we're in that season. I do know that there are signs all over to make it very obvious what time it is. You've tried to talk to people, they don't even care, even when given the facts. That's right. That's right. And you know what? We're being tested. That's what the tribulation really means to me. The trial, the tribulation, the test. Will we let go of the world and embrace the Spirit? Will we stop trusting the governments and the banks and the preachers and the priests and, all of the different facets of this structure? And will we trust God? Will we continue to try to fill ourselves up with everything outside of us, or will we finally go within and begin to know who we really are? That's what this means to me. That's what all of this is to me. Do I know if the world will get blown up and it's all over after this? I don't. There's a chance. Just keeping it real, right? There's a chance. We've got a bunch of celestial bodies that are going to rock our world literally very soon, starting with this one. Asteroid the size of Seattle's Space Needle to pass near Earth. Space rock measures approximately 600 feet. A massive mile-long double asteroid linked to a 1-inch meteor that streaked a fireball over Japan 3 years ago. This is some crazy shiznit right here. Potentially hazardous asteroid the size of Seattle's Space Needle is expected to pass near Earth on Tuesday. The space rock known as 2021 KT-1 measures approximately 600 feet, according to NASA's Southern California-based Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL. The asteroid is expected to hurl past Earth at a distance of 4.5 million miles away and at a velocity of 40,000 miles per hour. Comparatively, the average distance between the Earth and the Moon is about 239,000 miles. And if you guys remember, they're showing you the flashback here, March 21st, the asteroid named 2011 FO32. You guys remember that one, right? That was a big-ass asteroid, the fastest and biggest that would pass this year. This one, though, that they're talking about now, this KT-1, man, they make it appear as if there's a possibility for trouble. JPL reports that two other much smaller asteroids, approximately the size of a bus and airplane, will also approach Earth on Tuesday, coming within 700,000 miles, and that is nothing. That's nothing when it comes to, objects passing. On Wednesday, two additional house-sized asteroids are also anticipated to come within 4 million miles of the Earth, and none of which pose a threat. This is not the first time this year an asteroid has had a close call. In April, the tiny 2021 GW4 passed just 12,000 miles away from Earth, and the massive 2001 FO32 safely maneuvered past Earth in March. The potentially hazardous is determined by its size, shape, mass, composition, and position. According to JPL, it's classified as about 500 feet or larger and within less than half the distance from the Earth to the Sun, around 93 million miles. In addition, a near-Earth object is an asteroid or a comet that approaches Earth in less than 1.3 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun. While small asteroids are frequent visitors and 80 to 100 tons of material falls upon the Earth from space in the form of dust and small meteorites every day, the Center for Near-Earth Objects Studies assures that no one should be overly concerned about an Earth impact of an asteroid or comet. Scientists and engineers are currently studying potential asteroid impacts, both finding and tracking asteroids and using simulations in order to prevent threatening situations. And let me just tell you, dude, the simulation, I love how they're like trying to calm you down by telling you about the simulation. Okay? We've covered the simulation quite a bit, actually, probably ad nauseum for some of you guys. Let's just say this. The simulation didn't work out too fucking well, right? In a NASA simulation of an asteroid impact, scientists concluded they couldn't stop a space rock from decimating Europe. There you go, right? There's your comfort right there. They're like, don't worry. We've been simulating this stuff and it's all good. Yeah, they're not telling you in the simulation there is 6 different scenarios or 7 different scenarios, and 6 out of 7 they got fucked up. It's like, yeah, hey, trust us. They don't got a great batting average when it comes to this shit. Sorry. Let me make sure you guys got some sound here. I'm telling you, they're putting a lot out about this stuff right now, and I've got some cool stuff too, man. You know what? We've talked about this in a couple of videos here recently too, about how it talks about the army or invading force coming from the north, and that means the darkness, right? Or space, basically, right? And that it appears as if they're talking about like this alien invasion force that's coming down to lay waste or destruction to all those who don't have the seal of God on their foreheads. I can also remember, and let me see if I can find it. Was it Reagan? Ronald Reagan talked about the outside threat. to unite the world. And a lot of people believe that he was talking about a fake alien invasion that would be used to basically bring all the world governments together and say, look, we face this, fantastic threat and they're going to destroy us. We all have to come together and to make the one world system official. Let's see if I can find that clip real quick. Let's see. Here we go. The famous alien threat speech.
I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
There you go. He said it quite a bit, didn't he? Quite a bit. Do you think there was a reason behind that? Why would he say it that much? Because quite possibly that's exactly what's going to play out. I mean, we already know right now, and this is a big deal too. Not just the asteroids, guys, but they're getting you ready to bust out all the UFO shit, right? The long-awaited Pentagon UFO report could be released as soon as Tuesday. Now think about that. They bring this out into the world and say, hey, yeah, we've got these ETs, and they're dropping all these videos now for you to see all these different UFOs and how they're always seem to be present during military drills or, flying next to fighter jets or over the White House. I mean, it goes on and on the list, right? And they need to bring in a crisis of such a magnitude that everyone will go into total fear and capitulation mode, right? Total. And the only ones I could truly see that has that ability is an asteroid impact. Think about it. Massive asteroid slams into the Atlantic Ocean, just fucking levels New York City. All of a sudden, World War breaks out. Nobody knows, who is who. They think that it's probably nuclear weapons, and hell, they might try to play it off as nuclear weapons. Tsunamis are generated, earthquakes, fire, brimstone, hell everywhere. And then after such a global conflict, such a devastating thing, let's all come together in peace. Everybody, they would be scrambling, right? Scrambling. If the government told them, hey, everybody come to your local Walmart. We have underground facilities, and the only way that you can get in is if you, take your little poke thing, and then we'll protect you. We'll keep you safe before this asteroid impacts. Or after the impact, we'll feed you, we'll clothe you. That's how you get, different resources. That's one. Then the other is this, right? The alien invasion. You see some invading force coming down and just, wreaking havoc across the earth. Little do we know that they're the heralds of doom, or the harbingers of doom, as prophesied by the Colburn and the Bible, talking about, the army from the north, right? Coming out of the locust, out of the bottomless pit. And they're killing, a third of the earth? All of a sudden, everybody is going to not think the government's so bad, are they? They're going to come together to try to unite and fight against this invasion force, right? And that's basically, and even if these invaders, and this is one of the things that really kind of gets me, is like, is there a good guy in all of this? Is there a good guy in all of this? Whether it's the angels that we would believe are the angels of God, or the ones that they say rebel, is either side good? Truthfully, is either side good? Can you trust either side? Or is this good cop, bad cop, right? And then when this evil force comes down, maybe after all the destruction, a saving force comes, like a savior, fulfilling all the prophecies in the different books. Behold, he's coming on the cloud, right? Do you think that would deceive the world? Do you think that would get us to go along with agendas we might not otherwise go along with? I do. Don't know about you.
An asteroid around the size of the Eiffel Tower is set to skim past Earth, potentially giving keen stargazers a mini light show. Astrophysicist Sarah Webb joins us now. Sarah, hello to you. Is this one dangerous or just a good show?
I think this one's just a good show. Even though it's classed as a potentially dangerous asteroid, it is still about 7 million kilometres away, which is 19 times the distance to the moon, so an extraordinarily far way away. So if we think back to the Apollo missions, it took them almost 53 hours to get to the moon, travelling ridiculously far. So it's very, very far away. But it is something that is quite rare for one this large to be skimming so closely past the Earth. So absolutely, if you do have a telescope, definitely worth the show.
How can people spot it? What's the best advice?
Right, so it's best if you do have a telescope. Unfortunately, with your bare eye, you probably won't be able to see anything, and it will be best at 12:24 a.m. So if you can stay up that late, get out your telescope and hopefully get the coordinates offline and program it into your telescope, you should be good to go.
A question about these asteroids. Do they just keep skimming and going somewhere else, or do they eventually hit something or break up? Has this one been around for a while?
That's a really good question. So it depends on where the asteroids have come from. So most of them kind of occupy the Kepler belt in between the rocky planets and the gas giants. So most of them stay on the same course for a very long time, and occasionally might bang into each other or hit other bodies such as a planet.
And this is the thing. They're even saying this in the mainstream news, BBC type shit, right? Like, this one is a little odd to be this big and this close and how it's skimming past. And you remember I was reading the articles from the other day and they was talking about they're not saying that it's going to impact. We've been seeing all of this and this right after the 2021 PDC simulation. And remember, that simulation was not to try to deflect a fucking asteroid at all. It was disaster preparedness internationally. And this guy is a big one. It just so happens to be coming right around at the same distance that, the Nemesis system is supposed to be at, the 4 million miles, right? The 4 million miles. You look at the 600 feet, right? And what about the Bible? What's the Bible describe? It describes this big ass rock that really tears some shit up. Look. The first angel blew his trumpet, and there was hail and fire mixed with blood. It was thrown at the earth so that a third of the earth was burned up, and a third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. The second angel blew his trumpet, and something like a great mountain of burning fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood, and a third of the creatures living in the sea died, and a third of the ships were completely destroyed. Then the third angel blew his trumpet, and a huge star, burning like a torch, fell from the sky. It landed on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. Now the name of the star is Wormwood, so a third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from these waters because they were poisoned. Now, if we did have a massive asteroid that was going to impact, could it possibly be that the first thing that you're seeing here, the hail and the fire mixed with blood, is either like the tail of this thing passing in, or as it's burning up, as it enters through the magnetic field into the atmosphere, creating it to rain fire and blood, right? Because of this thing making its entrance, followed by it looking like a giant mountain on fire when it finally lands into the sea, followed by the actual star that was accompanying this thing that we would know as Planet X or Nibiru or Nemesis. And it appears as if that ain't even the end of it all. What if this tail is what creates, the third of the sun to be struck, the third of the moon, right? Causing the night and the day to change. People really need to consider that everything in the Bible has almost been done. Now, I know Christianity and the church and all of that is not going to tell you these things, but we have been watching these prophecies, these scriptures for a long time. A long time. And if it all holds true, and if everything we've seen, maybe it's all just a coincidence, right? Maybe all of it is just one big giant fucking coincidence, and we're reaching, we're reaching. None of this is about to happen. None of it. We're not in the 42 months. We're not in the back half of tribulation and shit, It'll be a long time from now. That's a possibility. But damn, look how much has been lining up for how long. And we are in that 42 months. So what does that mean for the earth? What does that mean for the people of the earth? Matter of fact, think about it. What just happened with the moon? A blood moon with a lunar eclipse, and a few short days later, what do you get? A solar eclipse, and the last one for 3 years. The signs are showing. Remember when Apophis passed, right? We had volcanic eruptions, swarms of earthquakes. Well, here you go. Earthquake swarm hits Disneyland, Southern California. A swarm of earthquakes struck the Disneyland area this morning, including one which left a Southern California visitor wondering if he was still on a theme park ride. While relatively light, the 2.7 magnitude earthquake, which struck at 12:41 a.m. this morning, was felt by more than 300 people that reported it to the USGS using their Did You Feel It online survey tool. The quake hit at a depth of 2.7 miles and was followed by 9 aftershocks, most of which struck within 4 miles of the Disneyland complex. And notice, it struck within 4 miles instead of the 4 million of this asteroid. An earthquake swarm, according to the USGS, the sequence of mostly small earthquakes with no identifiable main shock. Swarms are usually short-lived, but they can continue for days, weeks, or sometimes even months. This swarm is a massive release of energy is what they are, right? We know that, or at least we think we know that our core is plasma, right? Plasmatic, and that this cycle, and I'm not going to explain the whole process, just watch some of my fucking videos, please, how this energy actually releases up through the magma, up into the crust, right, through the fault lines, which creates that expansion of the crust, which floats kind of on the top of the surface here to allow the gases to come out, the sulfur, the methane, and all of this, the heat and the energy to escape. Whenever it seems like we're getting ready to get big earthquakes or major movements in the tectonic plates and shifting of the continents, we usually see the telltale sign of a swarm first, right? It's like a bunch of earthquakes going off, all around the same time or at once, all over a general vicinity, usually on a fault line, letting off a massive amount of energy before something big actually happens. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Matter of fact, keep this in mind too. This is pretty strange as well. NASA, or in the Earth Observatory, this is another thing I just found. Arizona's meteor crater. Right, they're putting this shit out there. Most asteroids that survive an encounter with Earth's atmosphere ultimately plummet into water, simply because oceans cover 70% of the planet, but massive space rocks occasionally hit land. This was the case 50,000 years ago when an iron asteroid smashed into North America and left a gaping hole in what is today northern Arizona. Meteor Crater, also called Barringer Meteor Crater, is located between Flagstaff and Winslow on the Colorado Plateau. The operational land imager on Landsat 8 acquired this image on May 16th of 2021. Even at 50,000 years old, the crater is relatively young and remarkably well preserved compared to other craters. Because of this, scientists studied the site extensively to learn about cratering process and how they work on Earth and elsewhere in the solar system, and about how modern hazards posed by asteroid impacts. A similar size impact event today could destroy a city the size of Kansas City, said David Kring, an impact cratering expert at the Lunar and Planetary Institute. Meteor craters measure about 0.75 miles across and about 600 feet deep. About 600 feet deep. The size of the asteroid that produced the impact is uncertain, likely in the range of 100 to 170 feet across. But it had to be large enough to excavate 175 million metric tons of rock. Now take a look here, and I won't go through the whole thing, but you can see the fresh craters on the moon, Goat Paddock Crater, Tirald Crater in Bolivia, the Rise Crater in Germany. They've got all of this. Showing it now. How to watch next week's rare Ring of Fire solar eclipse. Remember, whenever we have, and we just had, the blood moon means the coming of a sword. The lunar eclipse is a bad omen for Israel. Well, the solar eclipse is a bad omen for the world. And this is another one of those weird ones, right? We had the blood moon followed by a ring of fire. I think it's really strange. Last month's super flower blood moon lunar eclipse was hardly the only exciting celestial event of the season. Next week brings an even bigger spectacle. A rare ring of fire solar eclipse on June 10th. Skywatchers all over the world will be able to view the eclipse. The total and the annular eclipse, which can only occur under specific conditions, NASA says. The moon must be in the lunar phase, first lunar phase, and it must be also further away from the Earth in its elliptical orbit, appearing smaller in the sky than it usually would. And because the moon appears smaller under these circumstances, it cannot fully block out the sun, forming what is called a ring of fire or a ring of light. As the pair rises higher in the sky, the silhouette of the moon will gradually shift off of the sun to the lower left, allowing more of the sun to show until the ellipse ends. And there you have it. And you guys remember the last time we had a ring of fire? People were showing the eclipse in the sky, and there was like the moon, and you could still see the ring of fire. I mean, it was just wild. It was just wild, the images that was coming out showing multiple objects. I believe that all of this is connected to these asteroids that are passing and skimming so close. Think about it. The Bible talks about in the sixth seal, right here, the sixth seal. Then I looked, and the Lamb opened the sixth seal, and a huge earthquake took place. The sun became black as sackcloth made of hair. The sun was eclipsed, right? And the full moon became blood red. We just had a blood moon, and we're having a solar eclipse. And the stars in the sky fell to the earth like a fig tree dropping its unripe figs when shaken by a fierce wind. Asteroids, stars, fire, or an invading alien force. Maybe it's all one and the same. The sky was split apart like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved from its place. Then the kings of the earth, the very important people, the generals, the rich, the powerful, and everyone, slave and free, hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains. They said to the mountains and to the rocks, "Fall on us, and hide us from the face of the one who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb." Hide us from the face of the one who is seated on the throne. Here's the one seated on the throne, by the way. See? Hide us from the face of the one who is seated on the throne. That's your Ra, that's your Marduk, that's your Jupiter. Hide us from the face of the one who was seated on the throne. And remember, he's also in Revelations 12 prophecy too. He's going to rule all the nations with an iron rod or an iron scepter. Right? He's there too. Along with Mr. Apophis. Right? Along with all of these things. They're all playing out. No matter which religion you go to, which ancient text you go to, it all appears to be talking about the same thing, and it's a celestial event. And it's happening now. We're about to witness it. Check this out. More bullshit. More bullshit. You gotta love it. June nights means the return of rare electric blue clouds. This is just like the zodiacal lights, the noctilescent fucking nonsense. They're now going to try to convince you that these rare electric blue clouds are normal. Well, why wasn't they happening in the 80s or the 90s? Why now only, right? Could it be the blue Kachina making its approach? You guys remember all the videos we were seeing, showing this crazy ass blue glow in the sky? And June 20th marks the solstice. How about that? Right there, the Great Conjunction taking place on the winter solstice, and now we got this coming just a few short days before the summer solstice. June features the shortest nights of the entire year north of the equator, but the biggest astronomy event of the month will unfold after the sun has climbed above the horizon over part of the globe. This is also one of the only months during which rare noctilucent clouds, which float 50 miles above the Earth's surface, can be seen from the northern hemisphere. This is significantly higher than many other clouds of the altitude of which airplanes fly by. Noctilucent clouds are sometimes called electric blue clouds due to their color and the way that they shimmer in the sky after sunset or before sunrise. It's a light glowing in the sky when there's not supposed to be one. Long story short. These unique clouds can only be seen in the far northern hemisphere in the week surrounding the June solstice due to the angle of the sunlight entering the atmosphere. These clouds actually form around particles left behind by meteors. Super cold water droplets freeze on the meteor debris and form ice, and these clouds are made purely of ice. They form around meteors. How about that, guys? That's pretty interesting, isn't it? We're getting these noctilucent clouds that only form around meteors, but hey, no big deal. The Earth's rotation is changing speed. Should we be worried? Remember, Isaiah said the Earth would wobble to and fro like a drunkard. We know the tilt on its axis has changed. Well, now its rotational speed is changing too. Remember, the days will be shortened. Also, a third of the day will become night and a third of the night become day. And we'll go from 365 days a year back to 360. We define a day as 86,400 seconds or 24 hours, the time it takes for Earth to rotate once. However, the Earth doesn't rotate perfectly uniformly. Usually, the Earth's rotation is actually slowing down so that the length of the day increases by about 1.8 milliseconds per century on average. This means that 600 million years ago, a day lasted only 21 hours. The variation in day length is due to several factors, including the tidal effects of the moon and sun, core mantle coupling inside the Earth, and the overall distribution of mass on the planet. Seismic activity, glaciation, and the weather, the oceans, and the Earth's magnetic field may also affect the length of the day. In 2020, scientists made a startling discovery. They found that instead of slowing down, the Earth has started to spin faster, and it's now spinning faster than at any time in the last 50 years. In fact, the shortest 28 days on record all occurred during 2020. As yet, scientists are not entirely sure what is causing the increase in Earth's rotation rate, but some have suggested it could be due to the melting of glaciers during the 20th century and the accumulation of large quantities of water in the northern hemisphere reservoirs. However, experts predict that this speeding up is a temporary effect and that the Earth will start slowing down again in the future. Once again, I just hate to tell you, man, if it's all magnetism that's, doing these things, it's not got shit to do with the water causing this to speed up, right? If it is speeding up, that's if the Earth is round. I think they make a lot of this fucking crap up too, right? Just to keep it real. But if you see here, Right? It was saying they found that instead of slowing down, spinning faster than any time in the last 50 years. The shortest day came in 2020. And that the Earth's increase in rotation rate suggested it could be due to the melting of the glaciers or the accumulation of large quantities of water. Or could it be due to, the magnetic repulsion from a large space body that is actually making the magnetic poles repel away from one another and come to Siberia, right? We see this happening right now in front of our face. The South Atlantic anomaly is pushing the magnetic poles away from it, creating a new magnetic north that will end up being in Siberia. Or the largest hole ever in the ozone in the Arctic. Or the geothermal radiation in the Arctic, the wildfires in the Arctic, the 100-degree temperatures in the Arctic. Fuck, we're having aurora borealis and all of that, these auroras in Michigan and shit now. I mean, people really need to start kind of examining what's taking place, because the explanations they're giving don't make any sense. They make zero sense, as a matter of fact. The days are shortening probably because we're accelerating towards the end point of this cycle. That would be the truth, right? So there's no spin at all going on. It just means, like the Bible said, that if the days weren't shortened, that no flesh would survive. So now we're seeing the days being shortened. Close encounters. Democrats and Republicans unified in taking UFOs seriously. Uh-oh. In early April, former CIA Director R. James Woosley told Black Vault, a website that collects paranormal case files, that he is not as skeptical as I was a few years ago, to put it mildly, about UFOs, and that something is going on that is surprising to a series of intelligent aircraft and experienced pilots. Speaking to CBS's 60 Minutes last month, Senator Marco Rubio said that while UFOs still can prompt a giggle from some lawmakers, I don't think we can let the stigma keep us from having an answer to a very fundamental question. And a day after Rubio's comments aired, former President Barack Obama told CBS's The Late Late Show with James Corden that what is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there is footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. This is supposed to be coming out, guys. We could possibly get these fucking files tomorrow, actually. So I guess we'll see on that one. But let's take a look at some of the strange things that have been going on in the sky. And I went and found the original video from the one we watched the other day of the crazy ass lights and sounds from Russia, and you're gonna shit, man. There's trumpet sounds and all kinds of weird stuff happening. Let's take a look here. Let me make sure I still got sound and all that good stuff. It says zombie apocalypse in progress. You have for sure noticed that the days are much shorter in the last 4 months, and I'm pretty sure that it's not just my meth habit. Yeah. Sure, I'm with you, man. Apocalypse equals revealing. That you caught me off guard with that one, bud. Yeah, I do think it's because, think about it. If you got from point A to point B, right? Like we're on this timeline. So the acceleration is just because we are nearing the end point. Wow. And they cut that video short too. This is the craziest thing I have ever seen in my entire life, and this was just a few short days ago. Do you see how fucking bright it gets in that sound? Oh my god, that is crazy. Hold on, where's it at here? I've got another one too. Where is it at? And those blue lights in the sky? I wonder if they're going to look a little something like this.
The red dragon that travels through the heavens with 3/4 of the stars in his tail that sweeps them down to the earth like pillars of fire. Those right there are going to be coming to the earth. Okay? That is what they're spraying chemtrails in the sky for. That blue shit is power outages in the city, because you see the city is without lights. It's short-circuiting it out. So yes, it's having an effect, magnetical effect on our power grids. Okay? As you can see, the city is without power right there where that blue light is at.
Yeah, there you go. Right there, dude. Pretty fucking, pretty simple. We've been seeing those blue lights for a minute. Check this out. That's a weird noise. You can see shit like coming off of it too. And this is like how strange things are getting too, man. Things are getting really strange, all of the shit that we're seeing. I believe something flies next to the sun or is around the sun towards the end right here in this one. And I couldn't really see that one either. Sorry, guys. Then, where's it at here? There is just trumpet sounds being heard over UFO over China prompted airport to temporarily shut down. Check this shit out. This is a pretty wild one too. Right here. This one. Right here. Let me turn off the check that out. That caused the airport to shut down. Right there. Look how bright that is. Red and streaking in the sky. Causing the airport to shut down in China. This is the everyday norm now, y'all. Seriously, it's fucking nuts. And look, just like I don't know if these are spacecraft or what. I will show you this though. And this is kind of interesting. This is like from the 1600s, a German newspaper. See the long, like cigar looking things, and they have the circles on them, right? Look back at this one. See it? It's got the circles on it. It's like the long cigar looking deal. Just like what they had in the sky back then. See, very strange shit right there, man. Very strange shit. Nothing new under the sun. We're seeing things every day now, too. More and more. Like what we've seen in the Book of Miracles or is described in the Bible. And I'm trying to find you the video of the trumpet sounds. This isn't it. Yeah, I see sky turns dark in Beijing as Chinese regime convenes for annual political meeting.
The 2 annual political plenary sessions of the communist regime began on May 21st in Beijing. It used to be conducted in early March. This year, it was postponed to May because of the CCP virus outbreak. On May 21st, Beijing sky suddenly turned black, along with lightning bolts and heavy hail. The video shows Beijing at 3 p.m. when the day suddenly turned dark, along with thunder, lightning, and heavy rain on May 21st, 2020.
想在死地中的别景再提一次。
That's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now remember, anytime we see in all of the texts, Koran, the Bible, all of them, it talks about, the day turning like night, man. And we also hear about these big, thunderbolts or plasmatic, discharge, Zeus bolts, right?
Thunderbolts in Beijing at 3:30 p.m. on May 21st, 2020.
现在是北京时间下午3点40，犹如黑天一般。
哇，太郭老师和徐老师拍，你在哪儿？我看不见你了。我圈圈，你俩都不能发了。
3:50 p.m. Heavy rain and the day is as dark as night in Beijing.
Dude was joking. He said, "I can't even see you," and they started giggling.
哇，北京时间现在几点？
What time is it now?
3点50。
3:50 p.m. Wow, the lightning.
天哪，天好黑啊！
此时此刻，看看北京什么天？
Right at this time, look at Beijing. What is it now?
看看什么颜色？我靠！ 这他妈的黑！
Look at the sky. Wow, it's so dark.
老吓人了，这
It's really scary.
一场大雨。
Heavy rain is coming for sure.
现在是5月
It's May 21st, just past 3 p.m. in Beijing.
21号，北京3点多钟，天都黑了。
It's already dark as night.
你说奇葩不奇葩
Isn't this bizarre?
3点多钟。
It's only 3 o'clock and the sky has already turned dark.
2020年
See how dark it is?
21日下午
4 p.m.
16点。看看这天黑的啊！
Dude, I'm telling you, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy right now, man. This is everywhere, too. State of emergency in New Zealand. Look at the flooding.
Here we go, the water's changed course.
And what's so wild, man, you would think this kind of stuff would really get people's attention. I swear, I feel like people tune out on this kind of shit too, man. You can shock the dog shit out of them, but, seriously, they want you to tell them a good bedtime story instead of tell you the truth. Space station robotic arm hit by orbital debris in lucky strike. The small hole in the arm was spotted May 12th. And you can see, well, maybe you can see. Ah, fuck. Such horse shit too, man. A piece of space junk smacked into the robotic arm on the International Space Station, but near term operations should not be affected, according to the agencies involved. They noticed a hole in the station's Canadarm2, provided by the Canadian Space Agency, which has been in service and in orbit since 2001. Okay? Turkey to send Russian missile experts home in signal to Biden. Guys, I'm telling you, once again, and remember, right before all the hell breaks loose, what happens? A signal. A signal. Okay? A sign, a signal. That's what takes place before all hell breaks loose in the tribulation. Turkey to send Russian missile experts home in signal to Biden. I told you guys a long time ago, I believed, Turkey and Ukraine, because they had the Russian missiles, would flip on the United States, and that Trump withdrew from Syria to allow Turkey to enter to create the Gog-Magog alliance. Turkey said it'll send home Russian missile experts overseeing the S-400 air defense technology that has strained ties with the United States, addressing one of Washington's concerns with the system while ruling out scrapping it altogether. The remarks, which come ahead of a planned meeting between Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and President Joe Biden on the sidelines of a NATO summit in Brussels in mid-June. And dude, I just want to point out too, Nostradamus talks about this, right? I believe. Where is it at here? Right here. A great realm will be left desolated. Near the Ebro, an assembly will be formed. The Pyrenees mountains will console him when in May lands will be trembling. And the NATO summit in Brussels in mid-June. This is after the lands trembling in May and all of this. Ankara's readiness to compromise one element of U.S. concerns. Washington has said Turkey should end the presence of Russian personnel in the country to help with training and assembly of the missiles. Guys, it looks like it's all playing out the way, it's been predicted to. U.S. military aircraft to get deadlier than ever with new sensor technology. As technology progresses, so are the systems used by the U.S. military in combat. Researchers are currently developing a feature that will improve weapon systems by incorporating automated scanning and detection of enemy targets. Automated. Dude, this is letting AI choose who the targets are. I'm trying to fucking tell you, man. Everything you've ever heard about World War I and II is not what you think. They were massive culling operations of the masses then. I believe that with my whole heart, and I don't think this one's going to be one fucking bit different. That they are dispatching each other's militaries, right, to deal with each other's citizens, to make it look like a world war. You guys remember the Turkish soldiers and the Armenians, right? The photos of them holding their fucking heads up. They had beheaded a whole bunch of them. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Scientists drilled deepest ocean hole off Japan's coast. In a new world record, team of scientists working in Japan has drilled a hole into Earth's crust approximately 26,322 feet below the ocean surface. And this is really weird because when this Cascadian subduction zone slips, it is Japan that's going to be just absolutely sunk. And that's why I really wonder what's actually taking place off the coast of Japan. Research sheds light on the origins and age of a massive impact crater. Hidden beneath a kilometer of ice in northwestern Greenland, an impact crater that could swallow a city the size of London is the subject of much debate about its origin and age. Now, Western planetary scientist Elizabeth Silber has published new research suggesting the crater could be young. as craters go, having formed during the Pleistocene geological epoch between 11,700 and 2.6 million years ago. Yeah, fucking right. China state media says country must prepare for nuclear war with the U.S. after Biden asked for COVID probe. And remember, guys, that signal, right? Ohio. That signal that they was talking about. And Hu Jin, the editor of the Chinese state-run newspaper The Global Times, considers enhancing China's nuclear program as being vital to the country's strategic deterrence against the United States. Protests in Hong Kong, Taiwan, the COVID-19 pandemic, and accusations of China's engaged in a genocide against the Uyghur Muslims are sowing deep divisions and an already strained relationship between China and the United States. With Beijing one of America's top concerns, President Joe Biden has sought to strike a stern tone. While China sees much of America's actions and comments to be an encroachment on its sovereignty, the increasingly confrontational rhetoric and military maneuvers coming out of the two countries have raised concerns about a potential war. We must be prepared for an intense showdown between China and the U.S., Hu wrote in a Thursday op-ed for the Global Times. The number of China's nuclear warheads must reach the quantity that makes U.S. elites shiver should they entertain the idea of engaging in a military confrontation with China. Hu advocated for rapidly increasing the number of commissioned nuclear warheads, DF-41s, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and strategic missiles that have long-range capabilities. Woo! Making them shiver. Remember, they're building a base over the Atlantic. Should you be worried about the potentially hazardous asteroid passing by the Earth today? Today, even as you struggle to focus on work after the extended weekend, you hopefully enjoyed a giant space rocket screaming through space within a potentially hazardous distance of the Earth. The chances of the resultant Armageddon are, and always have been, exceedingly thin, as the asteroid 2021 KT-1 is passing 4.5 million miles of the Earth. Still, it's cold comfort knowing everything's technically fine, even as our space agency tracks a huge piece of rock that's hurtling within a potentially hazardous proximity of our fragile planet at a speed of 40,000 miles per hour.
Radar, and today I want to fill you in on not one, but two near-Earth asteroids that are going to be buzzing by our planet within a safe distance here in the next 24 hours. The first one is called asteroid 2018 LB, and even though it is the smaller of the two asteroids, you know, it's a pretty big rock when you put things into perspective. It's about the size of a small regional jet, so, you know, when you think about a rock that big, it's pretty big, but it is going to pass by Earth on a distance of more than 600,000 miles, so close enough for NASA to consider it to be a near-Earth asteroid. So as that one flies away, let's talk about the bigger of the two asteroids. This one is called asteroid 2021 KT-1. Now, if you were to pretend that you and I got inside that jet that just took off from the studio and we flew to New York City, the reason we would fly to New York City is to check out the Statue of Liberty. Because if you and I climbed from the very bottom of the Statue of Liberty all the way to the very, very top, up to the top of the torch, well, that is a height way up here of about 305 feet tall. If you were to double it, put two Statues of Liberty together, that would give you better perspective on exactly how big asteroid 2021 KT-1 is, because it's about 600 feet wide. Now, of course, they are considered to be near-Earth asteroids, but neither one poses a threat to us, thankfully, here on planet Earth.
Yeah, I love how they use the Statue of Liberty there. And in a NASA simulation, the asteroid impact, they concluded they couldn't stop it. So just keep that in mind. The Pentagon report clears use of drones made by top Chinese manufacturer. This is some more shit. 2 drone models made by China's largest manufacturer have been cleared for use by a Pentagon audit, according to a report summary obtained by The Hill. An analysis of 2 Beijing Innovations drones built for government use found no malicious code or intent and are recommended for use by government entities and forces working with the U.S. services. Guys, this whole shit is going into, the drone shit and all of that, man. It's like everything we see now is like all the automated targets, and now you got the drones in the sky. It's, the AI is what's in control, not at man, not at all.
Said an analysis of the 2 DJI drones built for government use found, quote, no malicious code or intent and are, quote, recommended for use by government entities and forces working with U.S. services. The remainder of the report, dated May 6, remains classified. The report's author, Second Chief Warrant Officer with the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, Adam Prater, declined to publicly comment on the summary.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Sure they did. And moving forward, an off-target CME might sideswipe the Earth today. Minor G1 class geomagnetic storms are possible on June 1st when CME is expected to sideswipe Earth's magnetic field. The storm cloud was hurled into space on May 28th by departing sunspot AR 2824. High-latitude skywatchers should be alert for auroras, especially in the southern hemisphere where autumn darkness favors visibility. UFO photobombs the sun. Last week, Philip Smith of Manorville, New York, was video recording the sun when a spherical silhouette flitted between sunspots AR 2824 and AR 2826. UFOs have been in the news a lot lately, says Smith. Here's one in front of the sun. Check this out. This is like, you can see it really clear too. Fucking right here. Wow. I don't know if that's a UFO, man. I mean, just be a damn rock. Here we go. That's all we're getting from that one. There you go. You can see the UFO going across here. And I didn't see any reaction with the sun as it went past. Rare level 5 warning for disruptive snow issued in parts of South Africa. Rare cold grips the eastern U.S. over the Memorial Day weekend. Large mud volcano eruption in Colombia injures 1 person and forces 150 to evacuate. Historic rainfall hits New Zealand, causing severe flooding. Tropical storm Choi Wan forms near the Philippines. Strong magnitude 6.1 hits near Alaska. 97 rivers across China exceed warning levels as country prepares for another heavy flood season. Slow slip earthquake occurring off the east coast of North Island, New Zealand, and they're having all the flooding with the slow slip taking place. Long duration C9.4 solar flare erupts from AR 2824, generating fast CME and S1 minor solar radiation storm. 2021 noctilucent cloud season starts earlier than expected. Rare level 5 warning, disruptive snow. Tropical storm Blanca forms well to the southwest of Mexico. Parts of southeast Australia shiver through the coldest May mornings on record. Nearly 416,000 people displaced after eruption of Mount Nyiragongo in the Dominican Republic, Congo. And significant flooding sweeps through parts of New Mexico. Asteroid 2021 KT2 to fly past Earth at 0.76 lunar distance. I thought it was KT1. Lahara advisory for Mayon volcano under the tropical storm Choi Wan in the Philippines. Asteroid 2021 KQ2 flew past Earth at 0.46 lunar distance. I bet they got the two mixed up. And Brazil experiencing the worst dry spell in 91 years, prompting emergency drought. 4 people dead as heavy rains trigger floods and landslides in Nepal. Historic rainfall in New Zealand, severe flooding. And yeah, I think they got those mixed up. And you had KN2, which flew at 0.38 lunar distances.
Planet we live on, and also the space around us. The moon is one place that's of particular interest, and every year scientists and researchers are making new discoveries, showing us how little we know about the moon.
And they're saying something massive is behind our moon and we can't explain it.
Is there any more information about this? Want to know?
Is there any more information about this? Here's a commercial. Yeah. It's probably, here we go, the Sky Trumpets in Vancouver. Check this out. Here's the Sky Trumpets, y'all. Matter of fact, let me mute my microphone so you guys can hear it perfectly.
What is that? Oh my god. Ooh. What is that? Oh my god. Ooh.
Fucking weird, man. Fucking weird. Yeah. Okay. As you can tell, there's not a lot going on in the news right now. Check this out. Okay, this one got me. Strange looking humanoid caught in India last night. You be the judge here. I'm not responsible for this fucking stupid ass video, but I'm gonna play it anyway. Come on, man.
पागली चुड़ैल लेवल लड़की तो है बे आगे थोड़ा चल 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 बे चल ना कुछ सोचो बे रिकॉर्ड कर भी नहीं रिकॉर्ड
Dude, what the fuck? I don't know what to make of that, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know what to make of that. Is that somebody just walking around asshole naked? Possibly. But it does look weird. And the people on the bike and shit stop. Like, what the hell is going on? Pretty crazy. And the USA shakes as 130 plus earthquakes rock Memorial Day weekend. Yes, sir. The last 24 hours have been seismically active across the United States, with more than 130 earthquakes recorded from California to Tennessee, according to the National Earthquake Information Center, and there are usually just 50 earthquakes every day in the United States, which translates to about 20,000 a year. The Memorial Day weekend has seen above normal earthquake activity, excluding several earthquakes that struck around Puerto Rico on Friday and Saturday. These numbers exclude the ongoing volcanic and seismic activity occurring in Hawaii. Fortunately, all the earthquakes were light, with none exceeding 3.0 magnitude over the continental United States. The strongest in the U.S. over the last 24 hours was 3.2, and it struck north of Hatillo, Puerto Rico. Lots of activity. Man.
The Indian government itself has imposed a lockdown, and what that is doing is the poorest parts of India, the food supply in the local towns have dried out to a degree that people are starving en masse. You have seen videos of literally bodies in the Ganges, and that is all got to do with starvation. The Indian government itself is committing crimes against humanity and a genocide. People need to be aware.
Damn, dude saying that all the bodies that we're seeing and shit is because of the starvation, that they're committing genocide against their population in India.
Then that the reason this India hype has been created now is because Indian government has destroyed the harvest which was produced this year. What that implicates, in 4 to 6 months, we will have mass starvation in India. This thing about the third wave in India, it's not. It's mass starvation. 500 million people in India are facing mass starvation.
Damn, he said the third wave, and they bleeped it out. He says it's mass starvation. Said 4 to 6 months that they intentionally destroyed the harvest this year. Fucking weird. I can't show more of that, guys. I wish I could. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, goddamn, dude. You look around right now, we've got a lot of shit going on, dudes. I mean, seriously. All around the sun, we got fucking gnarly-ass objects popping up all over the fucking place. Look at that. Big coronal mass ejections, massive amounts of space weather. Look at that. And look at all the debris and trash and shit around it right there. Then you got, and down here at the bottom, look right there. Red, and then whatever the fuck that is at the bottom. I mean, this shit is popping up everywhere, man. Everywhere. I don't care who you look at, you know, who you watch. Weird things going on in our skies. The governments are acting a fucking fool now. As if they always wasn't, but now it's getting really serious because, you know, a lot of people are saying, quite possibly, that, you know, perhaps this is the Depop. You know, look at that. Big planet-looking object right there. Fucking crazy. Look, that's MB333 right there. Look, he's showing you. He says, reminding him of what we caught the other day, right behind the sun. The seismic activity at Yellowstone, I mean, it's just popping off, man, left and right. And people have no clue around the world. They can't connect the two. They can't connect the dots. You know, they have that compartmentalized thinking. Look at the sky, dude. That's insane. They have that compartmentalized thinking. And they just believe what they're told. They question nothing. They question nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here, guys. I do appreciate all of you guys for watching. Please, 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 if you can, hit the like button. If you can, hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up for me. I would really, really appreciate that no matter what you're watching on. Make sure to comment, and comment on Facebook like it right now, and then after the video is over, please comment for me too, and please guys, share this link for me. I really need your help trying to get these videos out there, man. like I said, dude, this was a weird one. They shut down, to where I couldn't even see nobody talking in the chats at all before the show started. And every time I seen reminders of people waiting, they were taken back off. So please share these links for me. I'm just asking you, if you're whatever platform you're watching on, take 1 second to share it to your Facebook wall or your Twitter or whatever, right? Also, consider donating and supporting. We are at the start of a new month, which means the bills are due. I don't have any sponsors. I don't sell survival food or fucking gold. I only have you. And you have me. We got each other, baby. We're good. So please donate and support PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger Pay, which is through my personal page. Okay? And I have, dude, I'm telling you, I've got some cool things coming, guys. I really need some help, though. If you're interested in joining me, I'm not talking about some half-ass bullshit. If you want to join this channel and me in this work, reach out to me and let me know. I need somebody that's willing to do some tedious tasks, though. I'm trying to redesign the merch line and make it cooler. I just ordered me a t-shirt, matter of fact. I'm going to start putting out some cool images and all of that. And I need somebody to help me with the social media and all of that to make everything. We're going to update it to where it's all the same store, same merch. And I'm working on a website. And if you have web skills, please help me. It would be great. Email me, therealbestdampodcast@gmail.com, or text 513-393-2396. If you didn't get your Dropbox link for the private show, text 513-393-2396. Text it again if you've already texted it, please, because I probably just didn't see it because I've sent it out to everybody. So text again if you didn't get it. I just missed you or something. Or email. And that's a 4-hour show. Tomorrow night, I probably am going to say 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to rock and roll on the Best Damn Podcast Discord for the Best Damn Fam Live. And it's going to be for everybody who donates and supports in the month of June. Okay, guys? And it's going to be craziness. I've got a good one ready. I'm telling you. It gets crazier and crazier. I promise not to laugh at the guy who was frozen like a fucking icicle. Do you guys remember that? Like, the dude was like, and then when they put him on the stretcher and shit, his knees didn't even bend. And it was all from that magical agenda they want you to participate in. Yeah, hook a brother up. And Justin, I need to talk to you too, man. Text me, man. We need to talk about some things, integrating you more into some stuff too, Justin. I love you, man. You're my homie. But we need another person. We need somebody with some clerical skills, secretary skills, and computer skills, and all of that, man. So, hit me up. Because I'm definitely looking for people right now. Or you can apply through Facebook or whatever if you want to. But it's probably just easier to text or email me. Just saying. Yeah. Make sure to follow me. Instagram, Best Damn Podcast. Twitter, The Real Best Damn. Go follow our Facebook page. Facebook.com, Best Damn Podcast. DLive.tv, The Best Damn Podcast. Twitch, The Best Damn Podcast. And make sure to check out all our YouTube channels. And I'm working on the videos. It's June now, and I'm going to drop the BDP Tarot channel. So I want you guys, I'll put the links and all of that whenever it comes out. Join our memberships, our subscriptions. Make sure to check out our new Patreon and become a patron. It's wonderful to see how many different people have already migrated over. I got about almost half of you guys back. I mean, not half yet, but almost half of you guys. So where's the other fucking half? Where'd you guys go? Why aren't you coming back to me? Yeah, I love you guys anyways. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Gwendolyn Morales, Misty a.k.a. Mistia Abel, Rick Thompson, take care. Anthony Wynn, know thyself. The admin extraordinaire. And the entirely inappropriate joke-telling piece of shit whenever we do private shows. Justin, I love you, bro. You're the best, man. Chicken Little. You just, okay, that's what's up, Chicken Little. You just heard about BDP last night and donated. See, that's what the hell I'm talking about. Chicken Little in the house. Paula Ammons. Yes, Paula. And, you know, I do see, what's really crazy is most of the people that are in the chat rooms and all of that, like, they are the ones who donate. So I'm usually, like, preaching to the choir. Right? Like when I'm saying this shit, you guys are the ones who share. You guys are the ones who donate. You're the ones who hit the like. You're the ones who comment. It's all those silent bastards that watch me every day and never say a thing and never do a thing. You hit the like button. Share me now, please. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm losing my shit now. Losing my shit. Yes, and I love this community, man. It's beautiful. Takes two. It does take two. We're both degenerate fucks, Justin. And it's okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We need some more degenerates with us so we can get this thing popping. I've really got some cool things coming. New website. New merch. I'm going to start doing call-in shows. New tarot channel. I'm really going to expand this and do it as big and awesome as possible. And make sure that we never sell out. Ever, ever, ever. And it never comes to that. And you guys are going to get so much more bang for your buck. But, you know, I'm working my ass off. But, you know, I'm only one man. I mean, I know I'm a demigod, but I'm only one, right? All right, guys. Remember, Jesus is the truth, the way, and life. God bless you guys. I love you. And I will see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Peace.
Soak up the rags, fuck up the mask, light up the night and I never look back. I am the hunter, you are the monster, I am the entity, I am the haunter. Fight with no water, fight with no water, bring me the leg, I won't choke on the water. I am the author, you are the paper, rip you apart, leave the blood on the razor. Motherfucker, I am the product, I never feeling my feelings. I run upon them in the middle of the night and I kill them. I drill a hole in the villain, the fit of whatever mistake. Tell me shit, I don't listen, I'm burning up with the witches. Always been the same and I'll never change. Drifting the waves and I'm swept away. Catch me with the flames, I'm a decimate. And if I rest today, I'll just accept my fate. How I feel, am I really here? Dwelling every fear, there's no heal, let me hear me out. Show me who I was, patiently, faithfully chasing the sun. Drag me down, deep into the ground. Seep into the weakness, gotta get the secret out. I am alone, inside my head. I can be killed if I'm already dead. Heartless entity, double identity. Look at me, see what you did to me. Look at you, this is the end of you. Thought I was done, but bitch, this is the interlude. I would be cautious, watch where you step. I am your conscience, I am your breath. I am the sovereign, never to rest. I will break down your will until nothing is left.
I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king.
Soak up the rags, fuck up the mask, light up the night and I never look back. I am the hunter, you are the monster, I am the entity, I am the haunter. Fight with no water, fight with no water, bring me the leg, I won't choke on the water. I am the author, you are the paper, rip you apart, leave the blood on the razor. Motherfucker, I am the product, I never feeling my feelings. I run upon them in the middle of the night and I kill them. I drill a hole in the villain, the fit of whatever mistake. Tell me shit, I don't listen, I'm burning up with the witches. Always been the same and I'll never change. Drifting the waves and I'm swept away. Catch me with the flames, I'm a decimate. And if I rest today, I'll just accept my fate.
I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die a king. I don't wanna live forever.